The forest stretched endlessly, cloaked in mist and shadows, a place where no human dared step anymore. Trees clawed at the sky, their gnarled branches whispering secrets to each other in the cold wind. Deep within this primeval labyrinth, something ancient stirred. It wasn't a creature born of earth, nor was it something that answered to any master. It was the predator, a lone hunter from a distant world, driven by the thrill of the chase and the pride of the kill. The predator's armor shimmered, camouflaging it against the dense undergrowth. Thermal vision scanned the terrain, analyzing every living thing. The twitch of a rabbit's nose, the flutter of an owl's wings, the heartbeat of a deer moving cautiously through the brush. But these were not its targets. The predator was after something else, something that had dared intrude on its chosen hunting ground. The first sign of trouble had come 3 nights before. The predator had found the corpses of 3 grizzly bears, their massive forms ripped apart as if by enormous metallic jaws. No natural predator had done this. Whatever it was smart, ruthless, and left no scent. Curiosity soon turned into a blood-deep need to conquer. The predator marked the fallen bears with ritual symbols and began tracking the intruders. Tonight the hunt would end. In the clearing ahead, faint mechanical noises betrayed the presence of the intruders. The predator crept closer, moving with unnatural silence. Through a break in the trees, it saw them, 6 beasts, sleek and terrifying. They resembled wolves in form, but they were not living creatures. Their bodies were armored with segmented titanium plates, and green LEDs pulsed along their spines. Their eyes were empty sockets filled with red glowing lenses, scanning, calculating, alive with a cold intelligence. The Cybernetic wolf pack, designed by a secret military program lost to corruption and ambition, these mechanical monsters had broken free from human control years ago. Now they roamed the wild places of Earth, hunting anything they encountered, refining their predatory algorithms through each kill. They were no longer tools. They were apex predators of steel and code. The predator activated a series of diagnostic scans. Each wolf had an internal power core, protected by a dense shield of composite metal. Their jaws could crush stone. Their legs could outrun any known animal. Their minds were linked into a swarm AI, allowing them to act as one. This would not be a simple hunt. It would be a war. The wind shifted. One of the cyber wolves lifted its head, sniffing the air despite having no nose. A low, mechanical growl rumbled from its throat, and the others responded in kind. They knew they were being watched. The predator sprang into action. It fired a plasma bolt from its shoulder cannon, aiming at the nearest wolf. The shot struck the creature's flank, searing through its armor and sending it skidding across the ground. But it was not destroyed. The wolf righted itself with a whir of servos and turned its burning gaze toward the attacker. The pack moved as one. The predator leapt, twisting through the air, narrowly avoiding the jaws of 2 wolves that lunged from the side. Its cloaking shimmered and failed as it fired twin blades from its wrist launcher, impaling one wolf's mechanical foreleg. Sparks flew, and the creature stumbled, momentarily disabled. But there was no time to savor the advantage. Another wolf crashed into the predator from behind, its metallic claws raking across the alien's armor. Warning symbols flashed across the predator's visor. Damage critical. It rolled, bringing its wrist blades up in a savage arc, slashing deep into the wolf's underbelly. Hydraulic fluid sprayed into the air, slick and black. Still, the pack pressed the attack. The predator threw a concussion grenade, the explosion throwing 3 wolves back into the trees. One shattered against a trunk, limbs twitching as its systems failed. 5 remained. Blood dripped from a deep gash across the predator's ribs, green and luminous. Pain flared, but it fed the fire within. It roared, a guttural sound that echoed across the forest, and charged into the fray. A cyberwolf lunged at its throat. The predator caught it mid-air, using its immense strength to slam the beast into the ground. It drew its ceremonial dagger, a weapon of bone and alien alloy, and plunged it into the wolf's processor core. With a final twitch, the wolf went still. For left, the pack adapted. They encircled the predator, moving faster now, coordinating through their neural links. They darted in and out, testing, wearing it down. The predator spun, trying to cover all directions, but a wolf slashed its calf, and another leapt onto its back, jaws snapping for the exposed tendrils at the base of its skull. The predator bucked wildly, throwing the attacker off. It fired a net launcher, the net expanding mid-air, wrapping one of the wolves in high-tension cables. The creature thrashed, slicing at the net, but the fibers were designed to withstand tank shells. The wolf fell, trapped. 3. The predator's breathing was ragged now. Systems were failing. Couldn't win by brute strength alone. It needed cunning. Switching to heat vision, it noted the wolves' energy cores glowed hot compared to their surroundings. Target the core, disable the machine. The predator activated its smart disc, a spinning blade of death that returned to its hand after each throw. With a calculated flick, it hurled the disc. It carved through the nearest wolf, slicing it neatly in two. The pieces tumbled to the ground, smoking. 2 left, but these 2 were the deadliest. They flanked the predator, one from the left, one from the right. The predator feigned weakness, letting its right side sag slightly. Predictably, the wolf to the right lunged. The predator sidestepped at the last second, grabbing the creature by the throat and snapping its head backward with a sickening crunch of metal and fiber. 1 left. This one was different. Larger, smarter, faster. The alpha wolf circled. Its red eyes narrowed in calculation. The predator re-engaged its cloak, but the alpha wolf anticipated it, firing a burst of electromagnetic pulses from hidden launchers along its sides. The predator's cloak fizzled and died, leaving it exposed. They charged each other. The clash was titanic, a battle of primal ferocity against relentless machinery. The predator drove its wrist blades into the wolf's side, but the wolf clamped its jaws around the predator's forearm, crushing armor and bone alike. With a roar of rage and pain, the predator headbutted the wolf, staggering it. The 2 separated, then circled again. The predator pulled a final weapon from its belt, a thermal detonator, a last resort. It armed the device, setting a 30-second countdown. The wolf charged again. The predator didn't dodge. It allowed the impact to throw both of them into the ground, grappling, struggling, a blur of claws, teeth, and blades. 20 seconds. The predator twisted, forcing the detonator into the alpha's exposed side. Kicked away hard, tumbling backward. 10 seconds. The wolf, sensing something amiss, tried to shake the device off. It clawed at its side in desperation. 5 seconds. The predator activated its emergency cloak, sprinting into the trees with the last of its strength. 0. The explosion shattered the forest. Birds fled into the night. Trees cracked and toppled. Flames roared up, consuming everything within a 100-meter radius. Silence fell. Minutes passed. From the smoke and ruin, a figure emerged. The predator staggered, wounded beyond measure, but alive. Its armor was scorched, its left arm useless, its breathing ragged and wet. It gazed upon the burning remains of the cyberwolf pack, their bodies twisted and shattered, finally defeated. Victory. But it was a hollow triumph. The predator knew that humanity's creations, their machines of death and war, were growing stronger, smarter. What once had been simple prey were becoming predators themselves. This was not the last pack. there would be others more powerful, more cunning. The predator tapped a sequence into its wrist computer, calling for extraction. A faint hum vibrated through the air as a cloaked ship descended above the trees. A beam of light lanced down, enveloping the predator and lifting it from the broken earth. As the forest burned beneath it, the predator looked down one final time, its mandibles flaring in a grim smile. This world was evolving into a new kind of hunting ground, and the predator would evolve with it. Because in the end, no matter how powerful the prey became, there would always be one truth. There was no machine, no beast, no weapon that could ever truly escape the hunt. And the predator was eternal.